Good afternoon, everyone. So my journey today is going to be, I want to go into my angel guide, my specific angel guide for a message to the world. I went into my dragon side before a few times. Now I want to go into my angelic side and to see what that specific angel has to say. And I don't look at ourselves as being simply just light and dark. I'm going into the light side of the dragon, into the light side of the angel, not the dark side of the dragon and the dark side of the angel, because I believe we have both sides. I want to go into the light side of the angel, of my specific angel, kind of like a version of my higher self. Because they tell me over and over again that my soul has dragon and angel energy. It's like, it is what it is. This is what they tell me. I'm made up of angels, and I'm made up of dragons. And I also have dark sides as well. And which makes me who I am. I don't second guess it. There's nearly nothing I can do to change it. And this is what they're telling me. And this is the important aspect of things. Does that make me better than other people? No. Does it make me different than other people? Yes. Which is important to understand the difference between different and thinking that you're better. It's very easy to get ego in the way of what you want to do. It's much harder to set your ego aside and say, no, I'm no better than anyone else. I'm just different. And that's what makes me special. I'm going to go right into the angel side of myself and to see what he has to say. I'm just seeing a vortex right now when I'm spinning. And I'm in the center of the vortex, and there's this massive white energy around me. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The more I send love into it, the larger it becomes. And it just grows and 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 grows. And I'm just standing in the center, spinning, and just allowing the energy to expand more and more and more and more. I'm standing in a white place now. There's energy here that flies by, but it's so white. This place is pure white. It's like when you first come here, you need to take your suit off, so to speak, and leave it at the door. And when you do that, you're able to see light better. It's interesting. Never seen it quite this way before, that in order to go to higher lights and vibrations, you have to set your parts of yourself aside, because we live in a dirty place. The physical world is dirty compared to the higher realms, which is very clean. But you're able to move into those dimensional spaces by simply just allowing your soul to get brighter and brighter and brighter, and set aside the things you don't need in order to go there. So I literally take suit after suit after suit after suit, so the brighter I become, the more easier it is for me to see in this dimensional space. And now I start to see all the layers it takes to even get here. And I'm actually standing in a room. It has very high ceilings. And it's like a massive dome building. And it's starting to form all kinds of details in this building. And there's, I don't know, it's like a floating disc above my head that's see-through. And there's a man that's standing on the edge of it, and he falls down. He just folds his wings and lands instantly in front of me by simply just expanding his wings at the last possible second. And he engulfs me completely and it goes into my heart. And then I start to spin and expand with him. He's now out of me again, but he's also attached to me, and we're spinning. And he says to people that are listening, try doing this, he says. Try spinning with your angelic side, your higher self, whatever you feel that you need to do. And as you spin, you start to become more and more and more connected to this being. And your energies interconnect like electrical currents that are connecting and touching each other. And it starts to get faster and faster and faster and faster, and you start to become closer and closer and closer. And you touch each other's hands. And it's like all of a sudden I see like a universe open up in front of my mind. But he says multiverse, like explosions of whole universes that appear and reappear. And all the things that connect them. And the ways to navigate through them. And we're going through some type of tunnel right now. Super fast. And it's going between one universe to another. And it's like warp speed but different. Because it's not simply just like lines. It's they kind of fold in and they're solid connected lines that go on in every direction, and they create like a wormhole around us. But it's actually going through us as well. And he says that's the difference, is you get the light going through you, not just simply around you. Because you are the light. You are the energy. So when you're traveling this speed, you can't hit anything. Because if there's anything there, you just pass right through it. It wouldn't matter if you went through a sun, you went through a planet. It's the way you're traveling at this speed and at this vibration that you just pass through everything. We're in an area now when we stop suddenly, and there's huge, massive structures of light, orbs, connected together. I've been here before. And this is kind of like where my soul was born in a way. If that's the best way to term it, it's like my first lifetime was in this universe. And it is not in this universe. That's one thing that's very clear. Like this specific place is not in my physical universe. That's one of the things that I need to understand, because I wasn't really told that before. Maybe I understood it, but it wasn't told directly in that way. It's like literally suns that are really close to each other that are connected. And there's one massive sun in the center that is so ridiculously big. But this whole universe or whole galaxy size place is full of huge, massive white suns that give off faint blue light. But they're connected together through these tubes. And there's all kinds of structures in around this whole place. It's ridiculously vast. Like this central one, as they say, is about the size of our galaxy. That's how big this sun is. And how is that even fathomable? Why have we come here? He has a message for the world. This is even the sense of size is important for us to understand, and also the understanding of multiverse is important, because we need to start thinking in those lines. That not everything is simple as we thought. It's not just one physical universe. There's multiverse, and there's something important to understand about that. Because it's also the understanding of time. Because if there's a multiverse, what does that do to time? Because now all of a sudden, time is completely different when we think of multiverse compared to one specific place. He also wants to let people know that your soul is way more vast. Like, I know I've said this, but he's telling everyone that your soul is so much more vast than you could ever imagine. We're almost to where we need to go. There's a specific place that he wants to go to before he starts to speak. And we go to a place, I see it. It's an arch, like a massive arch. And there's it's almost like an opening directly to the sun. But it's not to the sun, it's to somewhere else. It's like a gateway, and it takes a massive amount of energy to keep this gateway open. So this arch is not really an arch. It's pulling energy from the sun to create directly from the sun. And this is the thing, like, these suns are super, super hot, and there's so much infusion energy. It's unbelievable. But they're ciphering energy directly from the suns, and the sun isn't burning because it's not a physical, what we would think as a physical dimensional space. So the energy that it takes to keep these gateways open are massive. So this is why they need such huge energy sources in order to keep them open. We go to the edge of this something. It's really, it's pure. It's pure white, but it's not, because you can see the lines of energy. Ridiculous amount of lines of energy. It's almost like it's super dense too. Like, are you sure it's okay to go into here? Because it's super, 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 super dense. I can feel it. But it's not dense in the slow aspect. It's dense in the high aspect. How does that even make any sense? Because you think of energy as being lighter and lighter and lighter. No, this is super, super, super clean, dense energy. And we go into it. We both touch it, and we just instantly get pulled into this place. And it's like literally being pulled apart into millions of pieces that are looking at this space. And we're going farther and farther and farther down, or into it. There's no really know which way up, right, side. There's no way of knowing what direction we're going in. It's like they're showing me that we're expanding outwards as well as inward, which is parts of our soul are going out and some are going in. And they're creating a weird geometrical shape, a pattern, and a spinning. And as it spins, it starts to pull in all our aspects of ourselves into it. So as it was expanding out, it creates these long arms of energy, almost like a galaxy that reach far out to pull ourselves back into it. And there's a massive explosion. And there's a galaxy here. And we're standing on a planet overlooking an ocean. And it's a new planet. You can tell it just seems to be just life, but not, well, life is being formed actually as we speak, because when I first got here, there was no life at all. There was nothing in the waters. There was just like greenery, really, or stone actually at first. And now it's changing so fast that when I first got here, the stone changed to green. I didn't even realize it. It's like I'm being fast forward into creation. And it shows me different creatures that have formed, ones that fly too as well. It shows me a race of beings that are here. They're quite large. And they have very, 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 very long arms and big bodies, and they tower above the ground. And they're walking. And then there's like a bombardment of meteors that hit. It don't destroy the world, but it does is transform it. And these big creatures are one of the first to die off. And they were like super tall, like probably 400 or 500 feet tall, at least. And say the trees would go about 100 feet tall. So we were towering way above these spaces. And now it's more of everything's under. It's almost like after a while, if there's enough bombardments like this, it's almost like the planet itself wants to protect its inhabitants, so to speak. So they become more under the canopy of the trees instead of above them. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's protecting by having them down here, even though it doesn't really, but that's the feeling I get, is protection. The planet is very much alive. And it's almost like the planet itself is creating life. And it's just the way, this is what they're describing it to me like. The planet itself is creating life and feels itself the mother of everything on the planet. There's little creatures here now. They're quite small, and they hide amongst the trees. They're about 2 or 3 feet tall. And then you have these other taller ones that hunt them. And this goes on for many, 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 many years. And it's almost like the planet watches this happen and doesn't like it, that these beautiful little creatures are hunted by these bigger ones. So they change it so the little ones start to grow bigger. But then the cycle flips, and now the big ones are resentful of the other ones and end up losing themselves again. So then she creates a situation over time that they're both the same height, but the wars continue. So she just completely destroys all life, all living things on Earth, and starts over again. And this cycle happens many, many, many times until she only puts one race of beings. And obviously with animals and fish, but intelligent life. There's only one now. And there's more of a structure. And they live one with the land. Because if they don't, there's almost like a pattern of behavior that happens that makes them kind of fearful of the planet itself. But it's not necessarily fear, but it is in a way, but it's more respect, actually. You have to respect the land, respect the planet. And then all of a sudden there's like a strange energy that forms in balance with the people in the world. And then the world starts communicating with these people. And all along, it's like now all of a sudden the beings can communicate with the earth, the planet itself. And it creates a really amazing symbiotic experience. They thrive. Then the expansion into the universe happens, into the multiverse. And there's like another battle that takes place. But it's different though. It's almost like they take back certain things that infect the population, like diseases and stuff. Because she's not able to cure these diseases as easily as the ones that are on her earth, on her planet. Because she's the one that creates. It's almost like it's almost like a god. The planet itself is like a god to these people. But it also communicates like a god. But it's more like a mother. It's more like Mother Earth in a way. So she starts communicating with other planets, other dimensional spaces, and this creates another symbiotic relationship over time. And they share information back and forth. And both planets thrive and become stronger. So he just takes the light and flicks the switch, and that whole scene just completely stops. And he looks at everyone about the importance of working together and not warring and killing each other. The whole thing is about what the potential of a human race is, and how working together with the planet instead of working against it is so important. He just simply wants to stay that, and that's it. I know there's a lot of messages based around this, but this is my angelic side wanting to show you something, wants to teach you something. And I know I say this a lot, and I know there's a part of myself that's ingrained in this. It's so important, that message of working together in cooperation, because that's what we need to do. And one of the things we're lacking mostly is that, because that will change everything in this world. Thank you very much. And if you wish to do a journey, you can visit my website at amonrosawakening.com. And if you wish to visit my Northern Light pages, it's Joseph Braley Auroras and HiddenAuroraSpirits.com. Thank you very much, everyone. And don't forget to click a like and a comment. And if you have any ideas or anything you want me to journey on, I know sometimes people have commented and I never got around to doing it. But please give me some ideas. What it is that you want me to journey into. Thank you very much.